Let me get over to Christopher Horvers. He's with JPMorgan Securities. He's their analyst there on this. And Chris, these numbers today from Best Buy, do they allay the concerns that others have had on this company that, they're seeing this huge cyclical downturn in television sales?
Actually, I don't think they do. I would actually be selling into this rally. The comp still came in down 4 domestically, beat expectations of down 4 to 5, but their gross margins were down pretty substantially after having a great year last year. In our world, that suggests that perhaps Best Buy went out there and bought the comp.
Really? Okay, then are you going to change your rating? Because I know you have a hold on it.
I do have a hold. Right now, it's trading about 4 times EV/EBITDA. So we'll probably keep the neutral here, but we're telling investors if you went out there and made a long position on better than feared results, you got paid on that today. But with gross margins being down 60, you have to question that. And nearly 70% of their earnings occur in the back half of this year. Given what's going on in the job market, the competitive intrusion from Amazon and the likes of Walmart, we would treat this as an opportunity to take some profits off the table.
Hey, Chris, it's Dominic here. One of the concerns that we have about Best Buy, everybody looks to them because they're so important to consumer spending. How important is Best Buy? How much of an indicator is it of the overall economy of consumer spending, which makes up, what, 2/3 of our overall GDP?
Yep, that's for sure. It's an important indicator. Our trader asked us this morning, well, what do you think? And I said, well, Best Buy is one of the most discretionary big ticket categories out there in the consumer world, outside of autos and boats. So, buying TVs is something that you do when you feel pretty good or there's compelling product out there. So, the fact that you see the census data slowing down in May in the electronics and appliance category, it suggests that the consumer is going to be soft this summer. We'd rather wait around, see what happens to the stock, see what happens to the job situation, because if we don't get jobs, it's not going to be a good outcome for Best Buy.
So, Chris, if the company has to buy its comps, essentially, I mean, they can only do that for so long. Where do you see Best Buy headed? Yeah,
you're right. You can only do that for so long. And they made up for that buying the comps with promotions. They made it up by cutting SG&A. They have a fair amount of cash on the balance sheet, so there's no liquidity issue here, and they're still a very relevant brand. So, it's more like an ice cube melting in the situation that we don't get job growth, not some sort of cliff event.
Hey, Chris, one more thing here. When we look at the idea of Best Buy and the overall economy out there, obviously your models for predicting where Best Buy stock will be incorporates things like GDP growth, jobs down the line. What is it that's making you think that Best Buy is not going to have the second half of this year that a lot of other analyst traders out there think it will?
Absolutely. I cover a lot of different, high cyclical spaces. I cover the office superstores. I cover the home improvement retailers. I cover Best Buy. And you're just seeing indications that things are slowing down. You look at the weekly claims data. And at this point, with the consumer not willing to take on a lot more leverage, in fact, deleveraging, and look at job creation of about 50,000 jobs, you just don't have the confidence that they're going to run out there and spend $1,000 on a TV when they bought the latest one 4 years ago and it looks flat and it's hanging on their living room wall.
And Chris, quickly, if you're going to sell Best Buy, what would you buy then?
I would focus on 2 areas. One would be Dick's Sporting Goods, which is a growth retailer in a category that has strong secular trends, sports involvement, healthy living. And the other area I would focus is something more defensive that also has strong secular trends, and that's the vitamin stores, GNC in particular.
Chris, thank you.